To touch the football, be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Now they go play action with Howell. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. And this one is incomplete.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, trying to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Dancing to his left. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to get the football here at their own 23. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
2nd down, Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Oh, that would have been a nice one to hit on in a tie game. You start to think that one big play, maybe the next big play, could turn out to be the game winner. They took the big shot, but it winds up incomplete.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the 4th quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Majors used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Howell throwing on 1st down here. That's into the hands of his tight end, Bates. And down inside the 15 he goes. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Straight ahead, Gibson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Here comes 2nd down and 5. Howell changing the play here. Second down and a run by Robinson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. Well, this crowd doing their best to make a lot of racket. It's 3rd and 5. Faking the handoff, Howell. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
And I know they would have loved to have had a touchdown there to give them some cushion. But now, kick the field goal. Get the lead. Let your defense bring you home. Show some faith in those guys on the other side of the ball.
Sly able to put this one through. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
Here's 1st and 10. Prescott. Throw left side complete. That's Ferguson.
What a time to come up with a play like that. They're now in field goal range. But the opportunity is also there to try and win the game outright.
Just the one timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. 1st and 10. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Penalties not what they needed here. 1st and 15. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard, and he'll be taken down at the 34.
But obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Well, they'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. Here's Pollard again. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. A big play here. 3rd and 2. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Now there's the timeout, signaled for with 2 seconds to go. And the field goal unit likely trying to send this one to overtime. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. With 2 seconds left in regulation, this to force overtime. And his kick is good. And that's going to tie the ball game at 34. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So the Cowboys going to get the first chance here to search for a winner as we're back underway to start this overtime. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. I cannot imagine how these players and coaches feel, Charles, because my palms sweating up here in the booth now as we go to the 3rd drive of overtime. And as we know from here on out, any points win this football game.
I'll throw you a towel as well, partner. I've got one for myself, but let's face it, our nerves, our pressure, nothing compared to what's going on that field. Both of the field goal kickers active here early. Can one of them become the hero and end this thing?
Second down, Pollard again. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 81 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of a play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone, all right? You don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield or go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to them.
And now this first drive in OT continues. A give to Pollard running left. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. They've had some success here in overtime with this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you. And until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there and available to them.
We'll play only the one overtime here. If time runs out, it'll be a tie as they come up on second down. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Opening drive of overtime and now facing a 3rd down and 6. Big play coming up. 2 minutes left in this overtime session and still all tied. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Washington looking for another timeout, and they get it. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Here's 3rd and 6. Here comes the first throw in OT for Prescott. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. And you definitely could make the case we might not even be in overtime had he not thrown 3 interceptions in regulation. But looking better here so far in OT.
Yeah, and when you think about what a coach is thinking at that point, because normally you've thrown 3 picks during the game, you might craft your play calling to be a little more careful. Not in this case. The green light still on for him. That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 4. Pollard, he'll take it up the gut. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Here's Prescott. That is caught and out of bounds all the way down at the 3.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Pollard. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring, and it still comes down to one possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. And in this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So for Dallas, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week.
Meanwhile, for Washington,
it's a loss that could